Oh, good.
That was Big Ray. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at the Hameen Media Group YouTube channel for another edition of Your Impact Attack. Yes, I said it. I said it is Your Impact Attack on the Hameen Media Group YouTube channel and eventually on Patreon, patreon.com/the Hameen Media Group. What's up, everybody? I am your host, Colin Weissong, and I am joined each and every week by a man who who had some nice hair back in the day when he was wrestling, but now he keeps it low and very close to the dome. That is at opinion haver everywhere, even on Grinder. My good friend, the Vet. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Vet. Going ahead and say what's up today, Vet.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I hope everyone's not sick of seeing me because I feel like I'm overexposed. I'm oversaturated. I do too many shows for Hameen Media Group, but I'm
You like the
just trying to
AEW
help.
product.
I'm just trying to help, guys. I don't want to do all these shows. People keep not being around, and I keep being there because of my work hours. So, I do my best to make it entertaining for you guys. But I was actually looking forward to tonight, even though Impact sucks. I just like to hang out with you guys and talk about it.
You're so nice. We enjoy hanging out with you.
Aw,
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that awe that you heard is
ditto.
our third man in the booth over here. We've got Brandon. Brandon's on
Well,
cloud nine right now. He is floating high above everyone else here at the Impact Attack. He's gonna dive bomb in here and introduce himself.
yo, what up? How y'all doing?
Here we go. Anything of importance that you did today?
Not really. Other than
No?
kind of got some stuff taken care of that kind of needs to be taken care of. But yeah, it's been kind of a more of a day off and chilling and relaxing.
Awesome. Did you enjoy Impact Wrestling when you watched it last week?
We can talk about it when we get to it.
Yes, we will. We will talk about it definitely when we get to it.
How long do we
Uh,
want to dance around it and avoid it
Well,
before
I
we
mean,
get to it?
we have the unofficial 3 count to start the show. I don't have fancy music and all that stuff like Big Ray, but if you guys have any topics or anything that you want to talk about that came out of this weekend, any interesting news, anything? Have you heard of anything going on?
I live in a bubble. I don't know if anything happens.
Well, let me pop that bubble for you there, sir. There was a UFC fight this weekend.
Oh,
Um, okay, wasn't the greatest card out there.
was that the
Um,
one with
Thiago,
Alves and
Thiago Santos and
or
Johnny Walker.
yeah? Why'd I say Alves? Santos. Well, how was that? It looks like it was a decision win.
Sonic's here. Sonic is here. Yes, it was a decision win for Thiago Santos. Which a lot of people thought that Johnny Walker was winning that fight, but Santos was kind of the favorite and the people that they want the UFC like the UFC was kind of promoting because he beat John Jones on like 2 broken ACLs. Um, Even though Jones won that fight, Thiago Santos had a very great performance. But what
There's
was
some news with John Jones.
yeah, of
There's
course.
some
But
news there.
there's definite news with John Jones. But to continue down the card, there was something very interesting that happened in the fight. Vet Kevin Holland was fighting I forgot the guy's name, but there was a sequence there where both of them went to go punch each other. They actually clashed heads. Like the guy's head went sideways right into Kevin Holland's like temple area. It completely knocked out Kevin Holland. He fell forward. In the pursuing attack, dude hit him again, woke him up, and he continued to wrestle on for like another minute until dude got him in a rear naked choke and choked him out. Now, Dan Mergliotta was the ref of this fight and kind of made this little motion like this, and that means they're going to review it. And what went from a very spectacular like choke out win that this dude was doing what he was supposed to. I mean, the ref didn't stop the fight, so you keep going. To watch a guy get knocked out and really defend himself like that, it got turned into a no contest after review. And this was the kind of the weird part about this is that they Dan Mergliotta was talking to the review official, which was Herb Dean, but Mark Ratner, who used to work for the athletic commission in Nevada and everything like that, he now works for the UFC, was involved in that same conversation. Now I get it. they respect him because of his former position in the Nevada State Athletic Commission, but now he works for the UFC. So why is he even over there giving any kind of advice on how this fight should end, how it should be stopped? Like isn't that now a conflict of interest in terms of the UFC trying to sway a decision possibly one way versus another?
I don't know. Is it? That's
I
my
mean,
Big Ray impression for the week. I don't, no, I
I'll
don't
do it
know.
with a French accent.
I was. Is it that conflict of interest? I mean, I don't know though. I was making a joke, but I'm not sure. Like, if how important is this fight that this could be considered a conflict of interest that is of any significance?
I mean, it's not really. It's two guys that, I mean, Holland's kind of an up and comer. He's a very spectacular fighter. It's kind of like this Nick Diaz style fighter. Like he gets in there, he'll literally talk junk. Like DC's been training him, helping him with his takedown defense after his last fight where he just got taken down over and over again. Was just talking junk the whole fight.
When you say Nick Diaz, that was the one that recently fought, right?
Yeah, he fought Robbie Lawler.
So his style is pawing at somebody like a little kitten, like a weak kitten. That's his style.
How dare you say that about? Do I need to pull up Nick Diaz versus Paul Daly? Do I need to pull up Nick Diaz?
How many years ago was that?
You know, do I need to pull up Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler 1?
I don't know. Did it happen
versus Justin Jackson,
did it happen
Jeremy Jackson?
This decade, or I'm just
You-
wondering because the
you-
last time I saw him,
You
which
blasphemer!
you're only as good as your last fight, Colin. You know that.
You blasphemer!
But yeah,
How
so
dare you.
I don't think things like this with the officials and stuff it matters unless you're talking about main event players, titles on the line, stuff at stake. If it's guys on the undercard, like even if it is a conflict of interest, it can't be too significant politically to cause like a real problem. So, with my limited knowledge, I'll say it doesn't matter.
It is possible there could be a problem there when it comes to betting and booking laws.
Yep. That's where I was going with it because it's like, bro, you're swaying the fight a certain way if that. But now Herb was heard like because the UFC was trying to get in there like they do now with like they try to get in the huddles, they try to get in like these little things so they can get the real audio so you can hear what's going on, and you hear Herb kind of like he's trying to talk softly, but he's just like now he was like. I would probably go with a no contest, but that's totally your choice, Dan. You're the ref in this fight. Like whatever you decide is whatever you want. Like, but now that's another ref telling another ref. Like,
True.
So he's and that's what he's there for. He's the review official. He's there to help. Hey Dan, it's like in wrestling. Like the final call is the final call.
So what you're saying is that Herb Dean had a prop bet that this was going to go to that he was going to somehow have a crazy finish and become a no contest, and that's where he made all his money. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it's. No, I'm not saying that at all, sir. I'm not saying
right.
any of that. None of
Just
that.
making
None of
sure.
that. And John Jones, an idiot. there we go. That's all that needs to be said.
That part's not actually news, but
Why don't you tell everybody about John Jones there, Mr. Vet?
well, John Jones doesn't have the best decision making in the world, but he's such a talented fighter that it makes it sad, to watch the self destruction. Because there's gonna no matter how high you place him, there's always gonna be all these asterisks around everything he's done. Now it's like it shouldn't be that way, he's on the decline anyway. But now it's just getting to a point where I guess his inactivity is colliding with his declining relevance, and then all that's left is for these weird, out of the octagon dramas to take up all the headlines about him. It's not about who he's gonna fight or how much money he's gonna make because he doesn't want to fight anybody. He just wants to talk about fighting people, So, and I heard something about him getting now he's like super heavyweight. Is that true?
Yeah, he's trying to bulk up.
For what? He doesn't want to fight.
They don't want to fight. He's hoping Francis will lose so he can take on the winner of the Francis and Cyril Gahn fight. Because I think he would probably beat Cyril Gahn. He don't want none of that Francis.
He would beat him into a coma, but they just reverse the decision after he tests positive. Like that's all that's gonna happen. I don't know, man.
Long are the days when John Jones was lateral dropping dudes and just doing crazy like shit in the undercard on UFC cards, and now he's doing crazy shit out in real life.
Yeah. I don't know too much of the specifics of what happened. I mean, do you know?
I think he like beat up his wife, pulled his wife's hair, did something to his wife. I think, right? Fiance.
That sounds like the vagaries of what happened. I was wondering if you had any official word, but yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just
now Mike Martin in the chat says Jones is bulked up. He's not on that Uber Ream horse meat diet. I think he's probably smoking a lot of weed.
That Florida B12.
Yeah, that Florida B12 on the pipeline there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look up a recent photo of John Jones.
He's looking beefy right now. He's definitely looking beefy. Jerome Hall, yep, definitely on that B12. They're all on that B12 though. They're all on something. I mean, even TJ Dillashaw was doing EPO. They tried to tell everybody about it. They're just on the cutting edge of like my brother. He was a huge Mark McGuire fan, right? And even though Mark McGuire took steroids, he will always say, no, what Mark McGuire took wasn't illegal in the time in baseball when he took it, as kind of an out for the fact that Mark McGuire was taking steroids.
That's not even true, because the people that think about Mark McGuire think about Cardinals Mark McGuire, and that stuff in '98 was definitely illegal. When he was on the A's in in like the early '90s, he got that stuff from Canseco first of all.
Of course,
but
they were buddies.
But it wasn't like the legalities were a little bit different then. So.
Oh wait, here we go. Sonic beat you to it. Got hit with the same.
Oh, I just wanted to see a picture.
He got hit with a domestic violence charge, much like Rich Swann did when he was like, He was beating around Sue Young. So leave that crap in the hood, fellas.
Wasn't that Sue Young thing like some bullshit, though? Like he did, like she made it out to be something different than it was. I thought that's what happened.
From what I understand, it's more kind of like there's kind of got into an argument that happened to Captain get filmed.
Yeah, that's the way I remember hearing it. Was just like a public argument where maybe there was some they got a little handsy.
Yeah,
but I don't think
like dragging her back to the car. That was it.
Which this happens sometimes. If anybody's ever been in a relationship with a woman, sometimes things happen that you don't want, and just try to keep it within the sumo rules. Don't throw blows and stuff like that, to the head and body. Just
Sometimes you got to club them over the head, Vet, and just drag them by the hair to the car. Much like
sometimes you have to do that, but you shouldn't do that. Just don't do it.
Ray Rice 2.0, John Jones 2.0, Ray Rice 2.0.
Oh man, now that was a quality punch.
Yeah,
Nick Diaz, go watch that elevator tape. Okay, that's how you throw a punch.
I will mute you right now if you continue this heinous act of violence against Nick Diaz. I will not stand. I will not sit here. I will not allow it.
No, you're gonna sit there. Well, you can stand if you like.
I will not allow these terrible things that you're saying about Nick Diaz, Vet.
Yeah. Well,
I will step all over your punchlines.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But yeah, so unfortunate as usual, but John Jones makes his own bed and he's got to keep lying in it. I mean, I think the days are long past when anybody can make excuses for him at this point. It's crazy to think people ever did, but
So, security notices blood on the wife's shirt. She denies violence, except that he grabbed her. Daughter tells security to call police on Jones. So, blood. There's another here. There was blood on the pillow. She said her lips bleed. Cops weren't believing it, so they went after Jones. Jones yelled at cops, "How dare you arrest me on my Hall of Fame day?" I think that's probably more how it went. How dare? Yeah. Do you know who I am? I'm John Jones. How dare you arrest me on my Hall of Fame day? Do you know who I am?
Yeah,
Juggernaut, bitch.
he's a juggernaut, bitch.
Oh, wait, don't you? Wait, he's like, don't you know who I am? Yes, you are the Berserker, John Jones.
Well, I will say this though, not necessarily specific to John Jones, but just kind of across the board. When I hear about these things, I always take the approach that the what I like to call the British Bulldog approach. I wasn't even there. I don't know. I don't know what happened, and none of us who weren't there know what happened either. We're at the mercy of the media, and you know how that goes. So, yeah,
Buckshot Kid dropping lines. Could it just be his
got-
wife's menstrual cycle?
uh, yeah. I don't. That's pretty sloppy.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's time. It's time for us to go to the impact zone and
do
get
it.
out of John Jonesville. We're getting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico here.
Get the nigga right turn out.
Yeah, making a right turn out of here. Get your wings. I don't know what that's from. Let's see. So this week I've changed it up. We are not these results that I am reading to you do not have pizzazz this week.
No pizzazz.
We're headed over to WrestleZone, and
Are they in order at least?
and our friend Dominic D'Angelo, good friend of the show, new friend of the show.
Hey,
they
D'Angelo, huh? You think he's got any relation to that guy in NXT?
They do have him in order, Vet,
All right.
except for literally the first set of results in the triple threat match in which Trey Miguel wins. Apparently, he thought it was Laredo Kid versus Alex Zane versus Laredo Kid. So Laredo Kid pulling double duty in the match this evening, and Trey Miguel still wins, manages to win the match, even though he is not billed.
They're gonna have to declare this a no contest.
Yeah, we're gonna need footage review. Mark Ratner, Herb Dean, Dan Miragliata, where are you at? So we open the show. Very high flying match to start the show with the X Division. Setting up a contenders match here. Any thoughts on this this opening bout to start the show with Trey Miguel going over here? He emphatically was screaming into the camera and putting spittle all over the camera as he grabbed it that he was going to be your next X Division champion. Very emphatically.
I'm gonna pass to Brandon first.
Ooh, passing. Brandon, the assist from the vet. What were your thoughts on this opening X Division triple threat match?
I mean, it was fine as an opener. Get the start of the show. Typical, get your crowd going. But I'm sure it's probably taped somewhere. But for the viewer watching at home, kind of get you started, get you going. Trey Miguel, he's probably my pick to take the whole thing, just because he seems to be getting a little bit of a push and the whole stuff with Raywell. I like the touch of him. Like I like his gimmick. I like what they're doing with him, and it's interesting. I'm interested to see where they're going with that.
What do you think of his dress? Does he look kind of AJ Styles-ish?
A little bit, yeah.
Continue with your thoughts. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But as far as like the people in the match, like the only person I really cared for anything for was Trey. I mean, because we knew him a little bit. The other guys we haven't really seen too much. At least I haven't, at least.
Yeah, you're right. Alex Zane hasn't spent too much time in the impact zone with us, and neither really has Laredo Kid. I think we've probably two matches that we've seen of him so far. So yeah, you're dead on there. I have to agree with you there. I think Trey Miguel probably is the favorite to kind of win this thing, especially if they're gonna eventually put this title on somebody. I think it should be Trey Miguel. Vet, your thoughts?
So this match kind of combines a lot of my dislikes into one place. Dislikes about, where the professional wrestling landscape is headed. It's a multi-man match, which there's far too many of, and I have a hard time getting into. There's a lot of obviously planned spots with cooperation involved, which I'm also not a fan of. But it's hard.
The flip on the two people.
I mean, no, but I think that these guys are kind of pigeonholed in that spot. Like, what else are they going to do? Maybe they don't want to necessarily do all that, but it's sort of expected of them. And this kind of match is that. But I like when guys are able to somewhat make their clearly pre-planned spots look a little more spontaneous. But they're not even doing like the little things, like when guys are running the ropes and ducking clotheslines and stuff, like Laredo Kid's throwing a clothesline that would have never hit anybody. Like, the guy doesn't have to duck because Laredo Kid just swinging the arm over his head. It wasn't going to be a clothesline, right? So, but the third thing I don't like really, which is kind of like it's kind of like the important thing that what Brandon's talking about. Like, he's saying he likes Trey Miguel the most out of these guys, and that's probably because that's the guy that we've seen. And but for all these three guys, I can't describe their personality or character. So, like, for the chat right now, or for you guys, if you've never seen them, like, how am I supposed to tell you who these guys are or why you should be interested in them?
It's purplish pink haired guy versus AJ Styles looking guy versus guy under a hood.
Well, yeah, to the more specific point, right? About, you said Alex Zane. This is, I think, his debut in Impact Wrestling. I've seen him a couple other places. New Japan Strong for one. Possibly Ring of Honor. Don't remember.
I think that's where I've seen him before.
But here's the thing. He is what every fucking guy on the indies is right now. Like, what is the appreciable difference or the functional difference between Alex Zane and Ace Austin? We already have Ace Austin. Why do you need this guy? You know, Alex Zane is a little taller. Ace Austin's a little more jacked. That's it. That's all we know. But there's no other difference. They got the same kind of hair color. You know, they're on the same spot. So these two guys are competing for the same spot. You know, you would put these guys together as a tag team if you had any sense, just because of how their hair is and how they dress. And I don't think that's what they want. So, you know, I don't know. Miguel wins this match with the flying dick to the face. Good job. But I just not really like into any of this for any reason. And that's too bad, because there's clearly some athletic ability here. But now athletic ability is not so much of a premium. Like, this isn't the 80s where you got guys like the Warlord anymore, and then Shawn Michaels comes in and does a leapfrog and looks like he's the craziest thing on earth. Everybody does this shit at a minimum. Brian Cage can do everything these guys can do. Okay? It's like, I need something else. So, no offense to those guys, but I would like to see a little bit of something else. But for the people that like the car crash match or the flippy match, this was it.
I miss the old Warlord and such a great tag team. Don't die, Vet. Don't die. I almost had a spit take there.
Huss
Almost died.
I think I was all right.
You sure? You sure? Now, the one thing that he did miss that I wanted to bring up is I know that the Drama King was watching this match intently backstage, and then afterwards they had this like a vignette that they cut where he's talking about Laredo Kid. So I don't like. I'm a little disconnected here because I don't get quite why he was cutting the promo on Laredo Kid when Laredo Kid didn't even go over in the match. Or now, like, it's now I'm promoting someone who's not even really any value, talking about how, like, yeah, I went after your mask, or like, I'm not like those other people that would go after your mask in that sense. Like, I understand what your mask is for and all these other things. Like, it was just a very weird vignette.
Is this a sex thing?
I don't know what it is.
Was he in the back jerking off to Laredo Kid?
I don't know.
Does he prefer the Senor Rico's rice pudding over the just the plain tapioca?
That is terrible.
Wow.
That is terrible, sir. But yeah, so there's not that. But now we got Sami Callihan being carted out of the Impact Zone due to injury. Uh-oh. That's I wish I had a John Brisson drop like Billy Ray Valentine and him going, "Wow." Yeah.
They're
Sami
blaming
Callihan.
Moose. They're blaming Moose
How
and
dare
Morrissey for
they?
this.
Of course,
Moosesy.
it's
They're
Moose.
blaming Moosesy, and they say on the commentaries, like, they say Moose is banned from ringside tonight for Eddie versus Morrissey in a street fight. Moose is banned from ringside in a street fight. No DQ, but he's banned.
Look.
From
Morrissey's
ringside.
putting in double duty. Okay, he was at this weekend's 2CW show, and now he's back in the Impact Zone, kicking ass. Like,
Banned.
And
Banned from a street fight.
yeah,
From ringside in a street fight.
Moose was banned.
So if the ringside match goes to the streets like it is named to do, is he not banned from the streets? Like if they, like, let's say the fight spills, let's say
Moose. Okay, you can't ban
Right.
Moose from
Well,
the street.
Well, no, this is a real question, guys, and chat, you can play along. If the street fight spills into that back area where Moose is just sitting on the couch with a table in front of him, does he have to, like, get up and leave because he's banned? Does he have to keep changing rooms
Don't read what's on the screen right now. You'll be very upset.
I'm not, don't cut me off, bro. Don't step on this. I'm asking a legit question. Does Moose have to just keep getting out of the room if they were to keep fighting in the same room he's in? Like, what are the rules here?
Like Moose,
Like a restraining order thing. You can't be within 50 yards of this street fight. So if he goes home and they follow him home and he's in his own house and they're fighting in his living room, he's got to leave.
You gotta leave. They're like, sir, I know this is your house and you're on the lease, but you gotta go. You gotta go.
Okay, well, if that's the case, they need to establish that up front and say that. They're doing a really bad job of explaining stuff lately in wrestling, with the draft and all. So, I would just like a little more clarification on this. Anyway.
No more. So apparently, our good friend Moose did the job to a 5'8" guy at 2CW. So Morrissey's going over, beating up dudes, and Moose is still not going over, even though he's not in Impact.
I'm gonna put a positive spin on this. He is just the most professional guy. Like, Brian Myers should be taking notes on Moose for just being a consummate team player, professional, all around, across the board, top to bottom.
I mean, I can put in a call to Strangler Steve and find out why Moose is being disrespected like this. Because Strangler Steve does book and help promote 2CW. So,
okay, well,
I'll do that.
Get that in there. Well, maybe I'll DM him right now.
If I die, it's because Steve killed me.
He strangled
that stupid question.
Okay,
just remember. Okay,
it's all documented. We got this video.
We've got the stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Edwards.
Don't put that on me.
The last man that we want to see on our screen right now, Eddie Edwards, makes clear to Morrissey that tonight his feud ends with him once and for all, and then he's coming for Moose. Any thoughts on those two segments there, Brandon? The chat thinks that you're dead. I'm gonna need you to move around a little more. There you go, chat. He's not dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Weekend at Bernie style.
Yeah, if you'd like to dance the entire time, that is fine.
Here, I'll play you some music. I got you. We'll play Deonna Purrazzo's theme song. You can try to dance to that.
Just remember, we don't play music under promos anymore, so there's that.
Why are you talking then? You're cutting a promo while music's playing. Now we cut promos while music plays. That's the way.
Hit the Tony Khan.
I gotta find it. Hang on. It's already too late.
That should have like a big, that should have like a big thing pointing to it at all times. Like, you put a piece of tape or whatever it takes to mark that thing.
I'm
so you
5 pages in for the Deonna Purrazzo joke. Okay, I have to go back 3 pages to get to the shouldn't have said it.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're on to our next match here. Tenille Dashwood and Madison Rayne versus Jellering. Jellering loses to the Influence. Any thoughts on this match?
I'm going to give it to Brandon again because I kind of wasn't paying attention to this match like I usually do. But I didn't watch this until this morning, and it's my day off, so I kind of had more important things I felt like doing than watch Impact, like play the Man-Eater Truth Quest DLC expansion. So I was kind of looking back and forth at the match. I didn't see anything offensive when I was looking at it, but...
Shark Games.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing about the fact that they have the All About Me graphic still there for a faction. It's like, okay, me, who? There's 3 of yous.
Yep.
Thought they had kind of an awkward cutoff into the heat with that kick in the ropes. And it seemed like there was not enough heat and there's too much shine. Like, didn't seem like there was enough heat. You got Caleb out there. You got the manager. Use him more for the heat. Like, and it just seemed like it was weak, slow, kind of clunky. Especially Ellering a little bit.
Ellering. I haven't seen them. Like it seems like it's been a while since I've seen them as a tag team in the ring. So I don't know if their just timing's a little off or something. But
it just came off a little awkward. That's all.
Yeah. Well, it does happen sometimes. Especially with Tennille, I see her. Sometimes she's up to the quality of her opponents. Normally that shouldn't be a problem with Jellering. They seem decent, but I don't know. I just not really that into the whole. I kind of like the All About Me idea, even though you're right. It's shouldn't be a tagline for a faction. Maybe they're all saying it at the same time. It's all about me, and then they all point to. But
there is no I in team, but there is me, Vet. So it's all about me. It fits. It totally fits.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. So, but yeah, it was just a match. It didn't really seem to. Doesn't this have to do with something coming up for the knockouts knockdown thing? It's coming up. Is this setting something up or no? Did I miss something?
There is I think there's like a thing that's going on, but I don't know exactly what it's setting up.
Okay,
I have no clue.
All
right. Well, Christopher Daniels is back. Gia Miller interviews him backstage, and Josh Alexander and Christian Cage come in to welcome him. Daniels is respectful, but does make it known he's not here to make friends. He walks off, and Christian has a tip for Alexander. Keep your emotions in check. Keep your emotions in check, Vet. There you go. Good job.
I'm also short of hair with a apparatus on my head, so I'm very similar to Josh Alexander.
Do you have an onyx tattoo?
No,
you're not like Christopher Daniels. Though. All right, we've got Brian Myers' learning tree. We've got guys training. We've got Soda Thompson doing push-ups. We got Zicky Dice looking like he's humping the ground, and Manny Lemons is sucking on a lemon, and then. He makes a really terrible joke to Manny Lemons, and you hear somebody like snicker in the background. Like I was listening to the show on headphones, and he makes like the joke, and you hear him while they're like doing the vignette. Somebody like snicker and try not to laugh. Like it's like, all right, guys, come on, we could have redone that take.
The squirter joke.
Yeah, the squirter joke. Yeah, like you put it in your mouth. No, not the squirter joke at the end. When he tells him like, come on, Manny, I know this isn't your first time. Squeeze it together, like. You hear somebody like laugh when he shoves the lemon back in Manny's mouth.
Well, I have one note on this. I just wrote one word down. Shits. And Sonic's comment here. Dude said to Manny Lemons, don't you ever squirt on me again. Then he said outlandish, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I couldn't have summed it up better myself. That's why we love to have Sonic here, because he can just take the words right out of our mouths and not squirt the lemon in them. This was just bad. It's bad comedy. It's bad acting, performing. These guys are capable of better. Is it bad that Soda Thompson is the best at this out of all these guys?
I'm gonna go get a steak.
Yeah, I just and Zicky Dice is like, he can do a lot more than this. I don't know who they think he is or what they've seen him do. But I can understand a Manny Lemons being in this spot. Zicky Dice can be above this spot. He's way more accomplished than this, just at the little run he's had in NWA. So you're just wasting Zicky Dice here.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. No, I like this to a certain extent. I enjoyed the push-ups, kind of that the jokes, because he was going around making jokes to each one of them. And then, but there's going to be some kind of tear in this faction, because they're, to keep the story going here, guys. There's someone's going to get cut. VSK was down on the end, and the guys were very upset that VSK wasn't doing push-ups, but he was done 10 minutes before them. and he is a cut above the rest, um, Brian Myers said, and that one of those guys is going to be losing their spot because they cost them the match the previous week. And then our good friend Soda Thompson, he's not. He thinks he's still in the group, so he tells Manny Lemons and Zicky Dice that they need to study some playbooks. He gives them some blank notebooks and proceeds to tell them to study those, and then he goes and grabs some steak with VSK and Brian Myers,
which was the best part, and it stuck. And also, Hawkins trying to get all his boys a paycheck. Yep, that's true. And that's kind of what wrestling is. But yeah, speaking of the shits, they didn't even give VSK a line in this, so that's how you know that he's rotten on the mic. If you can't get more speaking lines than Manny Lemons, sorry kid, it's time to call it a career. Let's just call it now. VSK, just take 2 weeks off and quit the business.
Don't you squirt on me, Vet. Don't you squirt on me. We have a Good Brothers segment.
Yeah, speaking of the shits.
They run over the tag division. They propose a number 1 contenders match: Finn Juice versus Bullet Club, with the winner taking on the Good Brothers at Bound for Glory. Well, that'd be pretty cool. Bullet Club versus the old Good Brothers.
Old Bullet Club. Hey,
the old Bullet Club. New
before let me rewind a second if you don't mind, because I want to ask Brandon. Brandon, when you watched this How to Be a Professional Chapter 41 Physical Fitness, were you high at that time?
No, I was actually having flashbacks of blow-up drills in training.
Oh, okay.
Oh
well,
yeah, let's not. Oh, that's probably why he got high. He was like, "Oh god, PTSD. I gotta hit this bong real quick."
Yeah. Well. Aside from that, did you think this was as bad as everyone else seems to?
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can tell by the references that you throw out that you're no stranger to comedy. That's actually funny. So when you see something like this, I'm sure it hurts your heart a little bit as a performer.
Yeah, they could be so much better. It could be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
could be better by being off the show.
Give them a chance, Fit. You be nice. You be nice.
Wait, who am I giving a chance here?
The most
do I get to pick a la carte, like who gets a chance? Because if I do,
Soda Thompson's the only one you're keeping.
I'm keeping Soda. I guess I'll keep Brian. I guess if I have to, and I might keep Zicky. But those other guys got to go.
Oh, you're totally keeping VSK. Like he's keeping VSK for himself. He's just not telling anybody.
I'll keep VSK to do a nice, clean, quick squash job every week.
Nice, very nice, very nice. You know what else happened at the squash farm?
Really, speaking of the shits. Now this is really of all the shits that we're speaking of. This. Go ahead, Colin.
Deonna Purrazzo rolls up asking where Mickie James can be found, and the man says, "Oh, she's at the little barn." And then we get a very
no, who are you? What are you doing here?
yeah, like, hey, what are you I mean, I'm sure the guy sees pretty women pull up to the farm all the time to come hang out with Mickie James. So
they all came up to sign individual contracts for Empower and everything. They all just come on down to the farm.
So Purrazzo jumps Mickie James while she's cleaning her horse. A brawl ensues. They fight back and forth. It goes all over the farm. And ends up turning into a wet T-shirt contest at the moment in time when Mickie James pulls the hose out, which is I'm sure there were a lot of guys at home pulling their hose out too when this was going on. But the pulls the hose out, starts hosing down old Deonna Purrazzo, who, as we kind of commented at a part of the show, yes, Buckshot Kid, this probably was the best part of the show.
Ironically,
unironically, Deonna Purrazzo was wearing what looked like a onesie. A wife beater onesie, which came out of the back of her jeans while she was fighting, which looked hilarious the whole entire time she was fighting. It's like she had a tail. And Mickie James just beating ass on the farm there. I like this segment. I thought this was fine. Deonna eventually sinks Mickey's head into a bucket of water before walking off. Quite an interesting little segment here. A cinematic barn brawl is what we got. Now, some might say, why would you do a cinematic barn brawl when we're going to have a street fight later? This just doesn't make any sense. Nope, it's Impact Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. It makes total sense as to, all right, we're going to have all tag matches. We're going to have all weird cinematic street fights. We're going to have all everything. Like they just load up the show with one trope the whole entire time, pretty much.
It's like Lockdown. Brandon?
I mean, like, it's the old wrestling 101. You do not touch till the pay-per-view or till it's time for the money to be made. For something like that, like if you're going to do it, you can you do cinematic stuff out of stuff like that. Like you can have Deanna show up to the barn or to the ranch and do something, play mind games or something, and not get physical. There's other ways around it, but you don't. No, you shouldn't be touching and having the fight beforehand. Plus, that was like, wow.
I would have loved to have seen somebody got like body slammed into some cow manure or something like that.
That's what I was waiting
horse
for.
Horse patty get thrown in somebody's face or something. No,
You would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
There's plenty of German channels that you can look at if you want to see that. Listen here.
I don't need to blow up my internet search engine.
Where do I use the in private mode?
I don't need it. Incognito mode does not hide everything, sir. I don't need any German Scheiser porn on
It hides enough. So where do I start with this bullshit or cow shit? So let's start with Deanna documenting her own crime. How about that? It's another thing that we've seen recently with who just did this in the WWE where they brought the thing and filmed their home invasion. Or no, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins did it. He went to Edge's house, brought his camera crew, made them all accomplices. Very nice. Same thing here. Whoever this cameraman is, if I'm going to do this, but then, so okay, let's say we set that aside. I'm with you here. You just randomly have a cameraman that no one's going to acknowledge or pay attention to. Fine. But then you have a fake pro wrestling fight in the barn. Like there's nothing about this that is any kind of believable or realistic or any. They're throwing empty buckets. She's like trying to slam her head into a bale of hay like it's a turnbuckle, like that's gonna hurt. I guess it would hurt if you got like a hay splinter in your eye or something.
Yeah.
But I doubt that was going on. I doubt that was in their minds when they were thinking of it. It's just the same typical shit. Deanna gets a pitchfork, says, "I'm gonna kill you." So I guess she's Goldberg now. She's got a pitchfork. And she swings the pitchfork, which you all know what a pitchfork is. She swings it like a baseball bat and misses. That's not how you use that, honey. I'm sorry. Maybe you've never done any work down on the farm.
Can I interrupt you here for a second? What made you angrier? A pickaxe into the side of a truck door or a pitchfork not being used properly?
I'm going to go ahead and say they're probably a tie. But
go back and watch the Santos Escobar Killer Cross street fight from NXT if you want to catch that reference.
Yeah, that's the one where I like the fact that Santos charged a man armed with a pickaxe. Like, okay, sure, very brave of him. So that's the thing too. It's like, what's funny is whenever you have something that you do swing. Like a baseball bat, they use it like a pitchfork. They hold it by the top of the bat and then they hit them in the stomach with it. That's how a pitchfork is used. So they have the muscle memory down. They should be doing this correctly, right? Or the chair, you see them grab the chair and do the same motion. And now you have a pitchfork and you swing it like a bat. You fucking moron. Okay. And then, let's see a little bit later.
I just want to see somebody die.
No, I'm saying, what if
Faces of Death enough when he was a kid?
Bro, come on. Seriously, though. Like, could you not take the pitchfork, try to stab her and miss? Maybe the pitchfork goes into a door or it gets stuck in the wall, a hay bale, something. Like, you see, this is what Sonic is saying. If it hadn't been chicks in tight clothes, I would have turned off. I'm getting to that. So the best part is when everybody's clothes get wet, right? But here's the problem. That little hose that she sprays her with, dude, she sold that water like toxic chemicals. she got a little water in the face. All she would have had to do is turn her head to the side and continue to choke her. But instead she acted like she was friggin' blinded. It was like the Joker scene in Batman '89, Jack Nicholson, when he pretends that the acid burns him. And oh, did I mention this whole thing was set to music? Did I completely leave that out? Do we want to play the Virtuosa theme? Should have been playing this whole time. Now it's too late. Now it's almost sad. Yeah, this whole thing was, as Ben Hameen always says, business exposing bad. They're trying to do something different and exciting, and it makes things worse. I would have rather have seen her walk up, knock on the door, and argue with her for 5 minutes rather than watch this fake, sloppy, their excuse for a cinematic fight. What are the chances that we get a suspension from Scott D'Amore about this?
0, a big fat 0.
Okay. Just checking.
He's more worried about shutting down Swingers Palace.
And rightly so. I mean,
No, not rightly
that is the most important thing.
What's
First,
Zicky Dice gonna do when he gets cut from the learning tree?
we'll find something for him.
He's gonna get killed by.
He
Sue
can
Young.
go over on VSK every week. The first order of priority is shutting down Swingers Palace. The second order of priority is addressing these criminal activities that their performers on their roster are doing.
How dare you, Vet? How dare you? Yeah, well, that's right. A lot of wrestlers doing home invasions this week.
So, yep.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we got Big E
but
making
Mickey's,
love to the title on WWE television, and we got
right.
women with wet T-shirt contests on Impact Wrestling and house invasions and all that jazz.
Right. But
Bringing sexy back.
yeah, we did get a Mickey James wet T-shirt, and if you're into that sort of thing, a Deonna Purrazzo wet T-shirt. But they were both completely skin tight to begin with, so it's not like it did a lot to change. It's not a T-shirt; it's a tank top, an extremely extra tight tank top. So the fact that it got wet doesn't really change that. So even that was like half-assed and terrible, So, well, enough about that, I guess. Unless you guys have anything else to add.
No, we find out FinJuice has found a +1 to battle against the Bullet Club. It is Chris Sabin. Now they're going to go grab some beers. We're back in the ring as Madman Fulton takes on Christopher Daniels. And Christopher Daniels gets the win here. Vet, no passing this time. I'm going to you first. What were your thoughts on Christopher Daniels versus Madman Fulton? Yes,
Another one that, to be completely honest, I didn't pay a lot of attention to. My note on this was, okay, as in, and what am I supposed to do with this?
It's Christopher Daniels. You pay some respect to the fallen angel.
One time I was in the elevator and Christopher Daniels was like, "What floor?" And I told him what floor, and he pushed a button for me.
That was so nice of him.
That's very
How dare you?
Well, I'll say a good thing about Chris Daniels. He did fine in this match. Not fine enough for me to watch the entire thing intently, but I mean, I didn't see him mess anything up. Oh, except for that one thing. But I don't know whose fault it was when he tried to do that, whatever that was. He tried to do like a STO and Fulton was on his knee. He folded him over backwards, and I don't know who to blame for that, but it didn't look comfortable. I'll say that. But other than that, I'm not going to say anything bad about Christopher Daniels because he pushed my floor button, man. So he could have a cinematic barn masterpiece, and I wouldn't say anything bad about Chris Daniels because I never would have got to my top floor suite with jacuzzi in the room if he didn't push that button for me. While he was probably like he was probably sharing his 1-bedroom room with Daniels and Caprice Coleman. So
I've met Caprice is pretty cool. I've met Caprice before. SCU, long live SCU.
Caprice wasn't in SCU.
No, he wasn't. Scorpio was, but yeah.
But you just wanted to say another black guy you knew?
I just wanted to say SCU.
You didn't want to do a Caprice Coleman impersonation?
No.
My God!
No, I met
you
him.
didn't want to do that? Come
I met
on.
him after one of the
See,
Ring of
guys, he
Honor
stepped
shows.
on my
and-
Caprice Coleman.
Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, I met him after a Ring of Honor show that introduced Emma, her first when she first came as Tennille into Ring of Honor, and Bully Ray's first appearance after being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. It's a very good show, and I met he was watching the show in the stands with his family. This is
And?
before he started doing commentary, which I thought
Oh.
it was. No, I was wanting to see him wrestle. I was kind of wondering why he wasn't on the show, and then he was chilling with his family, literally like 2 rows away from where I was sitting. Very cool. Very
Caprice
awesome
is an
dude.
underrated utility man. He could do anything from commentary to matches to managing, promotion, whatever you need him to do. He's a really underrated, and he's completely flying under the radar in Ring of Honor. And he's not a young man either. So even though he looks really good, age wise, like he definitely could pass for 20s, but I think he's 40 something. So somebody better get some good use out of Caprice Coleman. But Ring of Honor is right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, now it's time for my favorite portion of the show. We go to Swingers Casino.
Wait, didn't you want to ask Brandon what he thought of Fulton versus Daniels?
I guess so. He's just so content.
Yeah, I thought it was probably at this point, obviously, the best match of the night. I mean, Daniel can still go even at 50. It's amazing what he can still do. But yeah, that's what it's kind of a trend I've been noticing with guys, like kind of hitting their stride and still being able to go at like 40s and 50s, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah. A lot of the guys are like you said, just like hitting their stride. Like some people say this is probably some of the best work AJ's done now at his age with what he's doing and stuff like that. Like you grasp it a lot more, almost like a lot of these older fighters in the UFC. You see them kind of go on these win streaks because they kind of understand fighting in the cage a little bit better than some of these younger guys.
I think they're getting the mental game a lot more.
Yeah. And the situations, like you've kind of been through every situation now, so you kind of know what to do and how to handle it. That's a very good point. I like that. So Swingers Casino, Brandon, I'll just throw it back to you. Swingers Casino, Scott D'Amore coming in to shut things down, and Johnny Swinger basically just tells him he doesn't have a license to be a casino, and even more, Scott D'Amore pushing to shut them down. Why do they want to do this to Swingers Casino? What did he do? What did he do to Scott D'Amore?
I don't know, man. I kind of dig the when they can make references to Impact's past in there. That's kind of what I liked about these segments, just because I've been a long time Impact fan since about 05, the first start got on Spike TV. So it's got kind of references to the past are kind of like a little, oh hey, I remember that. But other than that, it's kind of like just kind of bad comedy.
I enjoy some bad comedy. What about you, Vet?
When D'Amore said he has to shut it down, I was like, please do it. Please just do it. I don't care if it's a storyline reason, whatever it takes. Just stop all this. Stop it now. They won't stop it. They'll turn this into an angle, too. There'll be more swing time for everybody, Daddy.
I'm going all in on more swing time, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. More swing time for us, Daddy. Yeah. All right. Ace Austin backstage, airing his grievances out to Scott D'Amore. He books Madman and Ace against Josh Alexander and Christian Cage for next week's show. Nothing?
Was this, this was, you said Ace?
Ace Austin.
I just want to make sure it wasn't Alex Zane or somebody.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Alex Zane. He had the staff. That's Ace Austin, right?
Yes.
Okay, make sure. And the big, tall white guy with the dreads, that's Ace Austin?
Yes, that's also
Okay.
Ace Austin.
Ace Austin. Okay. And we've got the venereal disease out in the ring. Eric Young says that they all had the momentum, all the control, but someone made a mistake. And that was Rhino. EY knows that. Rhino knows that. Now Rhino has a decision to make. He's either with them or you're against them. And Rhino, they are all basically the crowd's chanting "walk away." Rhino comes out and the Gore chants "follow." Now I love these Violent by Design. They're the sickness. Rhino has the sickness, Vet. The sickness. What is the sickness? Do you know what the sickness is? Is it anything like the Deserved? Like get up, come on, get down with the sickness? Is it anything like that? Yeah, thank you, Brandon.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna call it the impactitis. Did this seem interminable to anybody else? Like they just kept repeating themselves over and over, and Rhino didn't do anything interesting. He just stood there and stared like an idiot. Like he didn't have any facial expressions that made us think he was thinking about it or contemplating it or like that he was struggling with the decision. I mean, of all the times that to use the over pantomiming of professional wrestling, and this is not to be one of those times. He just stands there and it just takes forever, and Eric Young has to keep saying, no one walks away. Just okay, you said that 2 or 3 times now. We get it. Can we just hit the music? Whose music do they hit?
Random music. I will play some random music for you.
Oh.
They hit the music.
I wish.
Moose came out.
I wish. Dude, I so wish. It's like, nobody cares about any of this, and then just beats everybody's ass. That would have been so good.
Nope, but the guy I called for the last 3 weeks comes out, saves Rhino. It's Heath Slater. I got kids. It's Heath Slater.
It's just Heath. Just the candy bar. It's a candy bar walks out.
It's a chocolate covered piece of toffee came out and saved Rhino.
Yeah. Well, a chocolate covered piece of toffee would have showed more charisma than Heath did here too, because
how dare you?
Well,
Heath Slater. He's got
who?
kids.
But Colin, I think we can all agree that
Fuck them kids. That's what that's coming in here like the Brock.
Brock Lesnar. Oh, you got kids? I got kids too. Let's talk about your kids. I don't give a shit about your kids.
Give a shit about your kids.
But we can agree that Heath here, though, his problem is not charisma. So he just walks out here, stone-faced, slow, nothing going on. This is like the most boring version of him we've ever seen. And then nothing happens. Like, he does pro wrestling stuff and beats up Violent by Design by himself, and then Rhino just walks away.
Come here, give me a hug. Give me a hug, Rhino. Give me a hug, Rhino. No, he just leaves.
Yeah, not over animated like you'd expect him to be. Not getting that charisma over that we all know he has. Just very subdued and very boring. Everything about this was boring. I don't know how else to describe it other than boring. And there was no payoff. So
we need more moose. More moose.
Yeah.
More moose in this world. Brandon.
Kind of like a doped up version of what we should have got.
Yes. Everybody in that scene was you right now, Brandon. Now you can be how you are, but they are supposed to be, in front of those people. They're supposed to be a little livelier,
in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Be in the moment.
Trying to sell this to us. So
I think create that reality.
Yeah.
Well, I guess when you've been there taping for almost 8 to 12 hours that day, it's kind of hard to be in the moment when you've probably had to cut several sickness promos that EY had to cut in that weekend that they shot.
Sickness.
Rhino and the sickness. I am so sick of this sickness.
Fair point. Maybe episode 42 of Being a Professional will be how to keep your energy during long taping days.
Thank you. We need you in that writer's room for this. That would be hilarious. This is how you handle a weekend of tapings, boys.
Why would they hire me when I do this every week for free?
It's true. They could just continue to listen to this show.
That's okay.
Oh man, now we are here at our main event of the evening.
Before that, I just want to say they played a short promo for their new digital media championship that they announced. So I just want to say that if Matt Cardona doesn't win that, that's how you know this place is really going down the tubes.
Rohit's gonna win it. Main event time. It's street fight time. W. Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards. And guys, Eddie Edwards wins.
Whoa.
Eddie Edwards wins with a little help from his wife, which I mean she should be in there helping her man, since his other man got injured and isn't there to help her. Alicia should have been there to help, and she was.
Lish
with the steel barbed wire chair.
Do you buy pants off the rack that look like that, or do you got to cut them yourself?
Cut them. You got to always cut them yourself like that.
Okay, I was just checking. Um. Well, you want? Can I pass?
Yes, I'll
All right.
allow you to shuttle
Thanks.
pass it to Brandon here.
Huh.
Well, I hope Eddie Edwards does not have a concussion after that wet floor sign shot that he was swinging for the fences on and busted over his head.
He probably does.
Like, that was brutal. Uh,
You should have seen. I don't know if you caught the 2CW show, but he was hitting those guys at 2CW with some stiff shots too. Like he ran around the ring and gave dude the big boot like 3 times, and each time it was like he ran full force straight into the guy.
My shit is real.
even Kevin Nash knew you stick it up, let the guy run into it.
Man, I miss those days of Impact when Kevin Nash was like wrestling the X Division and he would the small luchadors and he set the folding chair in the middle of the ring and sat down on it and put his foot up and they ran into it. That is some comedy I can get behind.
That is some comedy I could get behind as well. Continue, Brandon.
And the finish just was kind of awkward. It's like, I'm just going to sit here and let this woman hold this barbed wire chair and this dude knee me in the face. Like, did we just have this same thing happen with AEW?
Yes, we did.
Well, he wanted to move, but he was just too stunned from all the damage and he could do nothing but sit and wait for his fate to be carried out. I mean, what can you say?
Pretty much.
My question is this. It's for you guys. It's for both of you guys. It's for everybody that's watching us right now. And it's for everybody that'll listen to it later on the Patreon or whatever. Is anyone else sick of seeing all this same old shit?
Yes.
Like folding chairs, tables, kendo sticks. Somewhere there's some guy in Japan that has like a small shop and he's just raking it in off pro wrestling because of all the kendo sticks he has to ship out. There's
Is
no
that how Masa made all his millions to be able to hang out with the Bullet Club? I think it's Masa. Masa probably is the guy that sells all those kendo sticks, right?
Well, it makes sense.
Badass Masa.
And you could charge whatever you want because of the market, right? Like you can't just walk into your corner Walmart and get a kendo stick from Sporting Goods. It just doesn't happen. But whatever. Like we just saw the dark side of the ring with Onita, so I blame him for all this. This is all his fault. For making, it's he was doing things that were crazy, like barbed wire exploding matches and electrified pool matches and piranha matches and all kinds of stuff, and that eventually led to us getting cookie sheets, but whatever. It's like it's gotten to a thing where it's so cliched now that it's almost like a regular match. No one really cares about this stuff anymore. I don't think, but maybe the people in the arena just feel bad if they don't cheer for the wrestlers, so they just kind of go along with it. But everybody's got to be sick of this. If you're gonna bother to take a spool of barbed wire and wrap half of it around a chair, think about that. You go wherever you go, maybe a Home Depot or something, Farm Supply, Mickey James's house, wherever you get a thing of barbed wire and you wrap half of it around a steel folding chair. Why don't you just get a knife? Why don't you just bring a knife in the ring and try to stab him? Like, what's the difference? It's much easier, and it's something that a lot more people can relate to. I'm sure there's more domestic disputes that have been solved by knife than by barbed wire chair. So, relatable. Hashtag relatable. How about this? How about this call? Colin, pay attention to this one. How about this from D'Lo Brown? Damn you, Moose. You know you're not supposed to be out here. You've been banned. That is verbatim. I even rewound it just to make sure that I got every word correct. You got banned. You've been banned. A guy said that on TV.
You've been banned.
Oh,
from telling me to pay attention.
Sorry. I just didn't want you to miss that because I thought you'd enjoy it, which you did laugh. So, okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah. So that was D'Lo's call. Way too.
That is. You know what? That is right. That is right. The match was over. So technically, Moose could be out there because all the stipulations from the match were over, and the contract is technically null and void because now
True.
the match is over and everything.
True. So in addition to being a shitty, fake sounding call, he was also wrong.
And Javi wants to know. So you're saying that we should have exploding knife matches in wrestling?
Yes.
I don't know how that would work out for both participants, but I will say that at least I hadn't seen it 100 times, and it would make sense. Yeah, I'm not in favor of any of this. I don't think that I don't think they should put landmines on the NFL gridiron either, just to make it more interesting. I think they should just play a regular boring old game of football because that's what I want to see when I turn it on. And I just get these trash can lids and the same gimmick tables, the same black folding chairs, like kendo sticks. I'm just a little fatigued with all of it. Here's another question that's really important because of what has already happened on Impact in the recent past, in the past that led to this match. In fact, where is security when Alicia's getting manhandled and Eddie's getting paralyzed out there after the match is over? By the way, as Sonic had pointed out. So the match is over. They're beating up his wife and holding her, like, they didn't beat her up, but they held her and made her watch. So they're physically assaulting Alicia. Then Eddie's getting the chair around the neck into the post and hit with a chair. No security, no wrestlers, no guards.
Less guards.
No Tom Hung. No Sancho. There's nobody. Remember, but okay, yeah, no Chota dog. Think about this, right? Okay, if you're gonna tell me that everybody just sat in the back and didn't do anything, fine. But are you also gonna tell me that just the other week, Sammy and Eddie were going after Morrissey in the back, where theoretically nobody would know where they are at the time, and Scott D'Amore and the whole security brigade get right in front of them before they can do anything to a 7-foot monster. So the same guys are going to just that they were taping the spot. Well, they could have been taping the spot with Morrissey, but
maybe Impact Security is really VSK, Manny Lemons, Zicky Dice, and Soda Thompson, and they were recording the professional segment at the time that all of this madness had broken out.
Well, in any case, I feel like we can all agree that this was lame. Because if you want the stuff to go on, if you want your stupid little angle to go on, that's fine. You have the security run out there, and then, of course, Moose and Morrissey beat the shit out of all of them. Why wouldn't they? But that at least gives you a reason to make it look like you tried. And then you could even have D'Amore come out there with the little headset off and everything, and actually have him try to physically get in between them. And then, one of them, like Moose can grab, I forget, was Moose hitting him with the chair? If Moose is hitting him with the chair, Morrissey can go, throw Alicia down and grab Scott D'Amore and be like, you ain't gonna do motherfucking shit, motherfucker. And then, push him. And then we can have consequences after that. Like, this can go somewhere with punishment for these guys, and that can lead into something else or whatever. But to just have them get to do whatever they want when you've clearly shown initiative and getting security out to break up, other trivial matters, that's just a level of inconsistency on their part. And I think that's stuff that needs to get addressed because it makes them look bad. It makes everybody look bad.
Oh, it's a good point. Very good point. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like you said, at the end there, we leave Eddie laid out as he puts the chair around the neck and hits him with it, and Moose and Morrissey leave. And that is it, folks. That is the end of the episode. What do you think we'll see next week? What do you think's on the table? What do you speculate will happen after this main event debacle that went on here? You think Eddie and Sammy will be sharing a hospital bed or a room together?
That would be interesting if they're smart enough to think of that. I anticipate a lot more women-focused stuff because they've got, and they did say what happens next week, but I already forgot. But some women-focused stuff because they're going into that knockouts thing.
Stuff, yeah.
But you know,
We didn't have Decay
watch
this
that.
week.
Watch them not do anything with that either. Like, you know, we see the level of consistency that they're able to come up with.
Yep. Just like Bloodshot Kid, it'll probably be another shitty show with hopefully some bright spots of Moose kind of stuck in between there.
That's all we can hope for, really,
Yeah.
at this
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
We
So
need more moose.
I
definitely
did
need
try
more Moose.
to we did the Smack Attack draft this past Saturday, and with my first pick I tried to draft Moose, but they told me that he wasn't in WWE. And I combed through
dare
the
they?
rosters. I combed through the rosters, made sure he wasn't on 205 or NXT UK or anywhere like hiding in there. But no, sure enough, he's not. So
Then take
I had to
the
take
next
Roman
best
Reigns
thing.
instead. Like
No.
like a
Take the next
sucker.
best thing. Take Braun Breaker.
I think RBV did pick Rick Steiner Jr.
Yeah, take Rick's son.
Picked him
'cause
unusually high. I was never
he's-
gonna get that far. Like I was never gonna draft him, but
He's
RBV,
the sleeper,
I think,
bro. He's gonna carry that division. He is something special. Like just seeing the way he carries himself and the way he cuts those promos and the way he talks on camera. Like there's a lot of that that's real to who he is. I feel like, but it just he has like it's this weird thing. Like you saw it with Cross and some of these things where I would just be like, yo, this dude seems like he has it. Like actually seeing it come across on WWE television like it has with Steiner's kid is crazy. Like the buzz that he has created in just the 3 weeks that he's really kind of made an impact. Because you and I, where was he the whole entire time you and I were doing NXT?
no,
But he was in the Performance Center, wasn't he? Or was he still out on the indies?
he might have been there, but he might not have been ready for TV at that time in their eyes.
But how is he? He's like so good now. So how was he not ready for TV then? What was missing?
I don't know. Maybe they look. Some people still have like a weird, even though it's not consistent. Also, like Impact, but they have an idea that people need to pay a certain amount of dues or have a certain amount of training and not leapfrog other people that have been there forever. You
Of
know.
course. But
so,
if you
so maybe that played into. I don't know if that is, but I'm just
I
I'm
mean, we're not
trying to
there.
answer your question. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know. I will say this though, that the discussion that Ray and I have is because you use the term "it" and he used the term "it," and to me, it is like an intangible, undefinable thing that you just know when you see it. But I don't see it in Rick Steiner Jr. I know exactly why he's as good and as hyped as he is. Like by the tangible things. Look at him, listen to him, watch him. Like he looks like all those guys. So I know exactly why he is what he is, but I don't know if that necessarily means the it factor. The it factor is one of those things that guys that don't have some of that stuff, like I don't know why, but he just a certain something. I'm not saying he doesn't definitely have it, but I'm just saying he's got a lot of definable qualities, not so much of a it factor. But he's great already, like you said. So I can understand. I still wouldn't have drafted him third or whatever RBV did, but that's part of the game because you have to imagine like who do you want that maybe the other guy wants, and it was a fun little thing. Even if you don't want to hear us talk about SmackDown, if you go back and watch like the last hour where we're just doing the draft, it's a pretty fun and interesting time. Naomi was not in my top 5. Buckshot Kid, she went undrafted, unfortunately, but I would take her in a supplemental for sure. Yeah.
Oh, you would totally feel the glow.
Oh man, feeling it, man.
Feeling the glow. Feeling the glow.
She's
Just
probably
like
in the I think I made the joke before, but she's probably in the market for a new husband anyway. So,
Ooh.
you know, if things keep going the way they're going, she seems like a very nice person that doesn't deserve all the stress that comes with that.
It's true.
But yeah, so, but you know, just to kind of put a bow on this Impact episode, it's a while until Bound for Glory, at least another couple of weeks. And
People want to know.
what round did undrafted, unfucking drafted. You know, the Usos actually went undrafted to the point that they were allowing stuff where, you know, if you draft a certain person and they come with some baggage, you get the baggage for free. and I drafted Roman first, and I left the Usos off, even though I could have just got the bloodline
Yeah,
with
they
Paul
got the
Heyman.
Usos with them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. This is a fake fantasy draft anyway. Now I can just claim after the fact, oh yeah, I meant to draft them all along, so they're there. It's not like RBV got to pick them up afterwards or
Did you
anything
pick
like
up
that.
Goldberg?
Nope. Somebody may have tried, but I think they considered him inactive or
About
ineligible
Brock?
or something. That was RBV's first pick.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good choice. Anybody go with? Did you go with Bobby Lashley?
Yes, that was my next pick.
Dude, you've already got a good team.
I know I got
Yeah,
Roman
Roman Reigns
and
and
Bobby,
Lashley's all you need.
I don't want to spoil the whole
dominate, bro.
draft. I want you guys to go back and check it out. Even if you just look at the Google Doc that McIver made about it, that shows our picks and everything. But the conversations that go along with it is part of the fun. But yeah, the cool thing
you
about
went Crime Time too, right?
do you mean Hurt Business? Anyway, Street Profits. I took the Street Profits, I think. But the cool thing about it is, it's like Brock. If you draft Brock on your fantasy thing, you can make him wrestle every week if you want to. No more of this holding titles hostage for 6 months shit. It's like, nope. You're gonna beat the Miz tonight, and then next week, like we're gonna do that. So, yeah. So that was fun. I encourage you guys to skim through it at least. Check it out. It's up there, and it was a lot of fun. And it's my first time getting to do a show with RBV. So, just one more check in the boxes for HMG team that I get to work with.
Working
A lot of fun.
everybody. The vet's over here working everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Once you're a worker, you're always a worker.
Telling you, brother.
Brother.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Vet. I'm gonna pass to you
Nice.
so that you can pass it to Brendan and let everybody know where we can find you on social media.
Okay. Well, I actually have stuff, so this is good. In addition to the Smack Attack draft, which we did, which was nice and fun. We also I want to take the time to, I'm sure you'll agree, Colin, you'll want to put over Bulletproof Blake Troop's
Yeah,
pro wrestling
good buddy.
debut.
Friend of the show.
On what was it called? The Super something Super Pro card Pro Vanguard Buddy Fight card Yu-Gi-Oh!
Pokemon.
Primetime Wrestling Network Super Card, I think is what it was called.
WWE Supercard.
Yes, that. It's a mobile app that you can download and get a free Bulletproof Blake Troop card right now. But yeah, he made his debut against Jordan Clearwater. That was the mystery opponent. Jordan Clearwater is a interesting looking kid. That's all I'm going to say. He's definitely he's in the right place to get the reps that he needs. So there was a little bit of maybe just a couple wrinkles for a first match, but it was a really good for a first match debut.
He knocked the guy out, man. Come on.
Yeah, I told him to do that.
Yeah, he
Colin.
totally went over hardcore on this guy.
If you watched when he was on Light the Fuse with us, I told him, hey, make sure you throw a grenade for me, and he did. So it was really me that won the match. If you think about it, my coaching helped Blake Troop to win the match. So, but it's not all about me or Tennille or Madison or Caleb. But yeah, so go check that out. See Blake Troop punch a guy in the face. And let's see. Also, now this is, guys, we have spent the past hour and change talking about how Impact was sorely lacking, maybe, I guess is a way to put it. If you guys are tired of watching the same old shit and you want to see some real pro wrestling, obviously the G1 is going on in New Japan right now. And if you've never checked out New Japan Pro Wrestling, this is a good time because they just had a B block card last night, And that show is available for free. So if you go to NewJapanProWrestlingWorld.com, NJPWWorld.com, you can watch the whole show for free. It's free content. And the main event was Kazuchika Okada versus Sonata. And you owe it to yourself to at least check these guys out. It's free. Come on, it's free. And if you're fine with the shitty American wrestling that you keep seeing and stuff like that, then don't bother. But if you like sports, if you're a sports fan, if you miss pro wrestling, if you want to see what pro wrestling used to be, could be, and with its own personal flavor, give New Japan a try. Quit playing. Just give them a try. Okay, it's not going to hurt anybody. But they got that free show, and I just finished watching it right before we came on here, and I was not disappointed. So. Yes, definitely check it out. NJPWWorld.com.
Yes, go check out New Japan, where you can watch Chase Owens defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi. New Japan.
Yeah, you never know when you can get a crazy upset like that in the G1. Only in the G1. And now Chase Owens is in line for a United States Championship match, in which he'll probably handily be defeated by Tanahashi.
Of course,
but that's
of course. Because that's how it should go. Tanahashi's like one of the greatest wrestlers in Japan ever. Brandon, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, right now everything is still at Miss T, the trans artist, but it's going to be changing here in a little bit once I get everything figured out what I want to do. Kind of keeping everything up right now. It's kind of like a memorial to what could have been. But, changes happen, things change. But, we're happy with the new direction, and it's got to get things ducks in a row to move forward.
That's awesome. Yeah, keep trudging forward. Keep trudging forward. Trying to answer Sonic in the chat here. Do you guys remember when Booker T had to sue Call of Duty because they made a character? They made a character that looked like GI Bro.
Wasn't that very recently?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely a big Booker T fan, but I think the case was a little bit iffy. I mean, I see where he's coming from though, but when shit like that happens, I'd just be like, okay, good job.
Good rib. That's a hearty rib. Rib on their part.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and nice little tribute.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Now, if he had a crown with his pinky out, then if he's holding the M16 with his pinky out, okay, now we can talk. But yeah.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me at Colin Whitesong on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/The A Show. We will be live with April Hunter and Aaron Stevens, and the man that Aaron Stevens lovingly calls the man from the North, and one half of the tag team that you guys lovingly known as the Bludgeon Brothers. Eric Rowan will be on the show. The man from the North, Eric Rowan, making his appearance on the A Show. There's just the thing. They always have redheads on the show. They just usually, it's something about Aaron just attracts redheads, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't know that. Is he going to bring a giant tarantula with him?
I hope he does. I want to give him a Rubik's Cube on camera for him to solve.
Just pass it through the screen like
and then he takes it and he solves it. Yes, just like that. The power of the internet. That's how we work things out. So come check out that show tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/The A Show. And please go follow us on Twitter at _The A Show for all kinds of great content and other things like that. Plus, we've got this crazy chick that runs our TikTok and Instagram. Follow her at the _A_ show for more content. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm assuming Sonic Googled what we were talking about, and he sees that now, that he does kind of look like Booker T. So, and he does too. I can kind of see it in that picture that we have there of Sonic.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
We're gonna get a beat down at the supermarket one day.
Price check on Jackass.
My favorite thing Booker T's done is still the black snow from TNA. Man, TNA was so good. You remember that? Black Snow?
I don't remember. I was.
It's
Black
what-
Snow and Chet Lemon.
Chet Lemon, yeah. It was when he and Kevin Nash were on commentary. And then he got in the ring like one time and he had the microphone and was still doing the commentary as he beat up Petey Williams. Like, he sees Petey. He sees him standing there. And then he hits him with the he hits him with the Harlem sidekick or whatever. It was so fucking great.
Steiner doing ring announcing.
Yep.
We're just
In a
gonna
great
catch
state of obesity.
let's catch you outside of a Starbucks.
I had the nerve to say, man, TNA's stupid back then. I didn't know what it would become. At the benefit of hindsight, it's amazing. So maybe if I get the Impact Plus app, I can relive all those great moments.
And I'm gonna have to cut that out and put that as a drop where Vet says Impact Wrestling was great at one point in time. He said it, people. I've got it
By
right
comparison,
here.
yes.
Got it right here.
Yes.
We have nothing in common.
That's right, Randy Orton. We have absolutely nothing in common. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's been the show. I hope you enjoyed it. To everyone in the chat, thank you for coming by the show, spending about an hour and a half with us. This is definitely the shortest show that the Vet's done all week. And thank you again, each and every one of you. Make sure you go listen at patreon.com/Hameen Media Group and check us out on YouTube under the live section, the live tab under the videos. If you want to rewatch this on demand, it'll be right up as soon as we get done recording here. And as soon as I hit the little end broadcast button in the top corner on StreamYard, it should still be posted to YouTube and you go back and watch all the fun shenanigans. No, Sonic, thank you for coming to the show. We appreciate each and every one of you. For Brandon, who is so goddamn stoned, and the Vet,
Who looks stoned but is never.
who looks incredibly stoned but is never. I am Colin Wysong, and I'm going to go get stoned. You have a great evening, everyone. Peace.